Hi, I'm Katie Carlson. I'm going to be attending Mount Holyoke College in the fall. It's a women's college, yay! I'm going to be studying English and then women's and gender studies, possibly with a minor in psychology or anthropology. Okay, so I'd say freshman year, I wasn't really super involved in the fall because I was really nervous and I was trying to really get my bearings before I got involved in anything, because I was that freshman on the first day of school that had a map that I had highlighted, and I had done the route beforehand with my mom because I was super cool like that. When I first came to East, I was so intimidated because coming from Beck, Beck seemed really big when I first got there, and coming to East it was crazy. And I don't know if any of you know this, but most of my friends, when I went to Beck, they all went to Rosa. So going to Beck, I could count on my hand the number of friends that I had carrying over from previous schooling. So coming back to East, it was really weird because all of my friends were being mishmashed together again, and I had to try and find some way to incorporate them all together and to get involved. So the place where I really found that I could meet new people and get really involved was the theater department, and I felt like everyone really brought me in, and it became totally a family because I really enjoyed meeting all of the new people. All of the seniors were welcoming. Of course they bust on you a little bit because you're the new kid, but everyone in the end really was encouraging, and I learned how to so much better, and now I am in charge of the costuming department, or the Society for the Prevention of Naked Actors, because really you don't want to see all of that on stage. And I just love creating, and I also found my place in F-Wing with all of the art classes and all the friends I made in art club. I was also somewhat involved with GSA these past 4 years, and I, this year, along with some other people, kind of spearheaded the Irish Culture Club, even though we haven't really done much with that, but next year it'll be even better. So that's really me rambling about how I found my place at East. One of my favorite moments, it actually just happened last week, is I participated in the poetry slam. I really was not at all prepared for that. I had actually participated in Lamont Dixon's workshop the Friday beforehand, and I had written a bunch of poetry, and I always write poetry, but I never share it with people because I'm really nervous and I sound really loud, but I have a lot of anxiety. And that's why I do behind the stuff stage in the theater department, because I don't want people to look at me. So I wrote a poem on Friday. Lamont Dixon told me that he liked it. So then when the poetry slam came up on Tuesday, I decided that I would just share my work with everyone, and everyone seemed to like it. And I was shaking and I almost puked, but I did it and it was good, and I won for my period, so that was great. Yeah, that was one of my favorite memories. I have a lot that have happened over the past 4 years, but really it's hard to pinpoint any one specific thing, and I guess it's in my short-term memories. I'm thinking about it. One thing that has really irritated me is I have been 5'8.5" since 7th grade. I have not grown. And then when we were getting measured a month ago, a couple weeks ago, they told me I was 5'10". That's a really upsetting thing because I thought I hadn't really changed that much. But then I know that speaking with people in Eastside, that I definitely know my appearance has changed a lot. When I came to East, I had hair down to my back. I really, I put in the purple streak halfway through freshman year, and now I just keep adding and adding and adding more colors, and I've officially had every color of the rainbow since I dyed my hair green last month. So that's physical changing. I think that I've really gotten more outspoken since I came to East. I've always had a lot of opinions, I really have. I've always been really sassy, and I've always wanted to share that with the world. But at East, being surrounded by other scholars that can help me engage in actual debates and conversations, it's really helped me to grow as someone in debating and having conversations. And I still feel like sometimes I get really awkward when I have to talk or be on camera, but I think that I've really improved in that aspect. How has East impacted me? I know that most of us, we really like to complain about Cherry Hill and East in general, but really I think that it has been a great experience. There obviously have been ups and downs, but with East impacting me, I've had a lot of really great teachers, and I think that one of the things that has really encouraged me to pursue English as a degree are all of the great English teachers that I've had. I had Batkey freshman year, Rakino, and Smaldor, and now I have Doherty, and they're all fantastic English teachers, and they really helped me shape my craft as a writer, and they've really encouraged my love of reading. And I've also had a lot of other great teachers that have really just helped me become who I am, because even though we have to learn in classrooms, I feel like there's so much outside that can take place with learning. Besides just the content of the syllabus, you can really learn a lot about someone else, and you can learn a lot about yourself through these classes.
Do you have any regrets?
Do I have any regrets? Well, I know, again, I don't think back in memories a lot. I think that I would have loved to have at some point acted more, because I think that I'm pretty dramatic. I think that could have been interesting. I don't think it would have been good. Definitely not good, but it would have been interesting, and it would have been like a whole nother like step outside my comfort zone, because I really like taking steps outside of my comfort zone, because I have such a box that I like to reside in, and every time I step out, even though I feel nervous and like horrible at some points, it always has a good outcome in the end. And other regrets, I don't know. I don't really have that many regrets. I think I like to take each opportunity and make the most of it. My advice for future students, I think that you really should try and make a lot of friends from the different grades, because this year I made a lot of friends with like the juniors and even some freshmen and some sophomores, and I think a lot of times people limit themselves way too much to their one specific friend group, and I like to have a lot of friend groups because I feel like each person has something really valid they can offer you, and the more you learn about other people, like I said, the more you learn about yourself. So yes, advice, you should definitely take a lot of really fun classes that interest you, and even if you don't really think you know much about it, you can always learn. That's what it's all about here. Advice, I would say, really just do what you want to do, and friendships and like people that also enjoy what you like to do, they'll follow. You don't have to conform to anything you don't want to do. If you want to dye your hair fun colors, definitely do it. Some people won't like it, but other people really will. That is my semi-alternative advice. Seniors 2014.